On. Hello and welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth.
And I am Stacey Early Wine, and we have another great show today.
We do. All of our shows are great.
All of our shows are great. I don't know why I always say that. I need to come up with a new catch line.
I don't know. We got to think about that. Because but this one is going to be good.
It is a good one because it's different, and there's probably not a lot of people out there that like these, like we're going to talk about.
I know. Some people don't like them at all.
And I actually find them completely fascinating.
Yeah, I do too.
And that is cemeteries. And there are a lot to cover.
A lot of cemeteries in Clay County.
A lot of cemeteries to cover. And they're just fascinating because Beth and I both love history.
Yes.
And so that's, you want to know where your history's at.
It's in the cemetery.
And you know what's fascinating, Beth, is the fact that when you go into cemeteries, how much writing there is. There'll be like a huge concrete wall that says blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah. You can find stuff.
You can find stuff about that. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So how's your summer going so far?
Great. Fantastic. Been on a couple of trips already and kind of got our vacationing over with now, I think. So, yeah. But, it's going good.
You take yours early. I don't take mine till August.
Oh, okay.
My sisters and I are headed down to Panama City Beach in August, so
fun.
I'll be gone for a week. Yeah, then just kind of camping and piddling around. That might be another campgrounds. How campgrounds came to be might be another story. The funniest thing is like when we're sitting here talking to each other, we'll say something, be like, "Oh, by the way," that would make a funny story. Let's do that one too.
That's how we come up with all of our ideas. Yeah,
yeah, it is. But today we are going to talk about cemeteries.
Yes.
But before
we got to do our ad, don't we?
We have to do our ad.
Yeah, and this is
this ad's let me show you the book. Ty Landreth, is he our executive producer?
He's our director.
He is our director, and he takes care of us.
I think.
Look at this magazine. We've pulled this one out before. This is a McCall's magazine, an October magazine from 1924. And I love this magazine. I just love this woman. I think she's great.
What's written on her face? Did somebody
whoever had this magazine made notes on the front.
Okay.
But I like the fact that it's 10 cents and it's like twice the size of a regular magazine anymore.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
What kind of ad is it today?
This ad, it's so different. Okay, let me get on the right page. Let me find it. I mean, it's something that you see today. Okay. How do you say this? Bon ami.
Bon ami.
Bon ami. Like
Here
when he show. Okay,
bon
look
ami.
look at the bottom left hand. Okay, but this is why I picked this ad. Okay.
What is it for?
Let's talk. Cake or powder? Have you learned in many uses? There are dozens of ways in which Bon Ami can help you clean and brighten the house. A few of the more important uses are shown here. Bon Ami is quick and easy in its action. The soft white powder doesn't scratch. It blots up dirt and grime like magic.
Nice.
Because it's so mild in its action, it never reddens or roughens your hands. Made in both cake and powder forms with dozens of uses about the house. Bon Ami is truly a good friend of the housewife.
Oh, so it's kind of a detergent.
It is.
Or something.
But look at that. But seriously.
Or baking powder, kind of.
It is. It comes in cake or powder form, which I don't know what the difference would be. You tell me. Cake might be a little
like
bit.
Like a bar. Like a cake is probably like a bar of soap.
But the lady in the top left is cleaning her mirror. The lady, I don't know why she's sitting there looking so pretty in her bathtub with her matching hat, is cleaning for bathtubs and tiles. The lady at the top right so beautifully is cleaning her mirror. For aluminum, for electric utensils, for enameled refrigerators, for white shoes, white woodwork, glass kitchenware, for glass and nickel, and for linoleum and conjoleum. So literally, but
So
doesn't
they had
that look familiar
refrigerators?
to you? Well, this refrigerator, it's one of those old ice ones.
Okay,
So
it's like an
it's
ice
really
box,
hard.
kinda.
You've got the lady that's like the top middle that's blue, and then the lady right below her that's holding the aluminum can, and then right below her the lady in the pink. That is one of those old ice chests, old refrigerators. It's not like
Okay.
what we would see, but the one
Okay.
where you would actually put the ice.
Yeah.
Remember we were talking about the
box.
ice house
Ice box, yeah.
in Florida? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool.
But I feel like that is still around. Don't you think? Look at that.
I don't know, like the picture of the
Yeah.
actual product.
Doesn't that look kind of familiar to you?
It kind of reminds me of a baking soda box.
Well,
I wonder if Bon and Me turned into baking soda.
I don't know. I bet our handy dandy director.
Yeah,
do a
you
little
could
fancy.
do a little Google search on the history of Bon and Me.
Yeah. Yeah. But the problem with these ladies is they all look perfect.
Yes,
They're
yes.
all looking great. Of course, it's not like, they're in their 1920s wear, and they're all smiling, cleaning.
There's no men that are cleaning, only women.
This would be Johnson's Liquid Wax. We were talking about you the other day.
Oh, it was only
What?
discontinued last year in 2022. Well, holy cow, you were right. Like
It had get out.
you had seen that somewhere.
Why would you discontinue a product that's been around for 100 years?
I don't know. They probably can't compete with bigger brands that
Well,
are owned by
I wonder. I bet
big
I could get on
companies.
Amazon. I'm gonna get some.
Yeah, maybe on eBay.
eBay, Amazon, any of those places. Bon Ami, a
Bon Ami.
100-year-old company.
You try it out on all of your appliances in your house, and
I'll do that.
And you let us know how it works.
I will absolutely do that. That is awesome.
Let's talk about cemeteries.
Let's talk about some cemeteries.
Yeah. So you drove around a lot this week, like you did.
I was
on a trip. So Stacey took it upon herself,
What?
and she did a 3-hour tour.
I did.
3-hour
tour. Yeah, I did. It was crazy. So I got out of the shop. I can't remember what Jim was doing. No, it was Friday. Friday afternoon. I had a cancellation about 3:30. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to drive around cemeteries. And I did a loop, and I didn't make it to all of them, but I did a loop around Clay County, and I took pictures everywhere I went. So we're gonna take a journey of Stacey's cemetery hopping.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you something. Okay, so there's been this, and I kind of freaked myself. I love scary movies, and I was by myself, and it was like okay. But you do not want to watch a TV show about the beginning of the zombie apocalypse and then drive around.
Oh, no.
I got lost a couple times.
Oh, my.
Yeah, and it was starting to get dark, so I didn't make it to my. But I started my journey and I headed toward Clay City, and my first stop was Foster Hill Cemetery there at Mount Zion. Ty, we're going to start showing some pictures now.
Okay.
So this is Foster Hill Cemetery, Mount Zion. It is on Route 50, and when you're topping the hill before you come down to go to Clay City, you'll notice that cute little white church.
Yes.
That's been there for a while.
Someone once told me, and I'm pretty certain this is true, but I don't know. This is the highest point in Clay County,
Is it?
I think.
I don't know if it is or not. Mount Zion might be, but it might be where Larry Harville lived, because at one time Larry Harville lives down. If you take the go at the intersection at Clay City and go south and keep going south, don't take the England Road. Larry Harville lived up there, and at one time he had lived in a very old home, literally an underground railroad stop.
Oh.
And at one point when he was upstairs in the upstairs room, it was nothing but a glass room, and you could see all of Clay County from all around.
That's cool.
So I don't know if Mount Zion is. I'll have to. That's a good. We need to write
we'll
that
write
down.
that down. We'll
But anyway,
verify that. But that's what I was
so
told.
Foster Hill Cemetery, Mount Zion. Mount Zion is a little Methodist church up there. It is closed now. But let's show some more. Show some of those pictures afterwards. Okay, so there's my first picture. Okay, so look what they're
what's
doing in
happening?
here. They are going in and they are fixing a lot of the headstones.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So, but when you've been watching a TV show about the zombie apocalypse, the last thing you want to see is moved dirt around headstones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's so peaceful up there. So I think there's another picture from Mount Zion. And then I just came across this old stone. I thought it was really pretty. This lady died December 26, 1862. A lot of the old stones, they've been around for so long. It's Lucille. Or what's that? I don't know. It was hard to read. but I thought it was just a neat old stone.
Well, I'm wondering if it was
S.A. Stanford.
Yeah, I think and it's got a Navy seal on it. Like, was he a Navy
No,
man?
it's like loose seal, and then you'll see right underneath it says wife of S.A. Stanford.
Oh, I see that now.
A lot of the older stones, I did notice it was like the men's stone were just who they were, but like when it came to the women, it was wife of blah 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 blah.
Yeah, like property.
Yeah. So that's kind of neat. And Ty, let's show another picture.
That's all I have.
Is that all we have of Mount Zion?
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
That's a pretty cemetery.
It is pretty. And the other thing about them is they're very, very peaceful. Yeah, it's very, very peaceful.
Yeah, I like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ty, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will come back to my cemetery hopping tour.
Okay.
At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville. Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, give me all your guns too.
John Lucas.
What?
You better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
All right, we are back.
Yes.
We're talking about cemeteries.
Yes, we are. So
we are just talking about cemeteries today, and the first one that we are visiting is Foster Hill, a.k.a. Mount Zion Cemetery. And I did make a note that in some of my research, the second settlers in Clay County, Seth Evans and his wife Couture, are buried at Mount Zion.
Oh, no kidding. Okay,
Yeah, they
I
were the
remember
second
those
ones
names.
to came. They were the second ones in.
Yeah.
That settled into Clay County.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Okay, we track them down.
We will track them down.
I didn't realize that.
They've got. Yeah, they actually came. And Seth Evans came. The first settler escapes me right now. It'll probably come to me halfway here shortly. Who knows?
McCulley or something like that.
Something like that. But and then he actually left and came back to Clay County. He was the first person in Clay County. And then when he left, he came back. He brought Seth Evans with him and his wife. So that's an interesting fact.
Yes.
So then I might as well thought, well, let's just continue going east. So we're going to stop off at the Clay City Cemetery.
Okay.
Here we are, the Clay City Cemetery. And I took AKA Maysville. Maysville is all of the cemetery there. It used to be called Maysville. Actually, when you're coming in on Route 50, right where the Dollar General that's at, to the what is that, the south, all that area was called Maysville, including the cemetery.
Right, and Maysville was the first capital of Clay County.
First capital of Clay County.
Yes.
Pretty neat, which Maysville, a story on Maysville is coming
we could do a
because
whole
it's
episode.
pretty cool. But there is a couple interesting things in Clay City. Let's show one of the pictures. This picture is really, really kind of neat. This picture used to infuriate my grandmother because I believe
I think I know what you're going to say.
is the monkey's grave. there is a monkey buried at the Clay City Cemetery.
Okay. But it's not marked. It doesn't say.
It's not marked. It doesn't say. And I just thought this was really cool. And I'm pretty sure this is the one that's the monkey's grave because it's very ornate. It's very decorated. And if I'm wrong, somebody can correct me because I walked all around that cemetery trying to find where I think my grandmother took me to. And I believe either way, there is a monkey buried at the cemetery. It was a long time ago. It was a monkey that lived with a lady in Clay City, and she loved that monkey. And it's literally one of the very first things buried.
Oh, really?
At the Clay City Cemetery.
That's pretty cool. Not everyone can say they have a monkey buried in their cemetery.
Every Sunday, we went to Sunday dinner. My grandmother lived just right to the west. Actually, where the gravestones are being buried right now was my grandfather, Roy Franklin's land, and he donated it to the city years ago. And so every Sunday dinner, we love to walk through cemeteries.
We did a lot of that too when I was younger.
I mean, it's so weird because we'd eat, and then Granny'd be like, well, let's walk to the cemetery. So we'd walk to the cemetery, and Granny, we'd pick up flowers and stuff. Clay City Cemetery, they keep them immaculate.
Good.
I love the way that they keep cemeteries just pristine.
Good.
It's respectful.
It is respectful.
The whole purpose of the cemetery is respect.
Right.
Is respect. And then there was another stone, and I would like for us to, after this picture, how would you even say this name? That is up in Clay City.
That is not a normal Clay County name.
It is not.
Visniski.
Visniski. Yeah, so I wrote that down because I'm like, what?
Sounds Russian. I'm sure it was an immigrant that settled here. Visniski.
Well, because it's kind of like a Russian Polish.
Yeah.
But they're all right there, But I thought that was interesting. It's large. And apparently I never really go. And this is on the far, you can see the tree lines right behind it. This is on the east side. There's only a few more graves over it, like that first row when you go in, and then it kind of wraps around. Okay. It's right there. And I'm like, that Visniski caught
your eye,
attention. So I'm like, man, I wonder if anybody knows.
It's a beautiful stone.
If anybody knows about it, I would love to hear your input.
What's the story on that guy?
On Visniski. Yeah, because I don't know about you, but I haven't come across anything.
And I've been in so many Clay County history books over the last few months. And
I have, that name is, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. What else you got? Where'd you go next?
Well, so from there, I went to Casey's and got a Diet Mountain Dew and some popcorn chicken.
Yeah. Good. Got to have fuel.
Actually, I lied. I did not go from there. So I'm traveling down, and I'm thinking Bunnyville. I'm thinking Bunny and Ziff. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm an old Clay City girl. I used to be around there all the time. So I took off past that cemetery, and then I went down to, and I'm starting to go down through Bunnyville, and I'm thinking, I'm not seeing anything. I'm thinking, Ziff, that old Ziff school's down there. I'll go down there. Then I'm like, I'll take the England Road here. I went everywhere. Long story, I got lost down there because everything started to, so I called Mark Lindeman. And I pull off to the side and I call Mark and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? He said, oh, not too much, making supper or whatever. I said, hey, I'm lost. He said, you're lost in Clay County. I said, does Bunnyville or Ziff have a cemetery? And he said, not that he knew of.
Okay.
So I turned around, then I went to Casey's, got gas because I'm thinking this might be a long date. Got gas, popcorn chicken, and a Diet Mountain Dew.
Okay. So a little side trip. Just a little, we call that the scenic route. Just a little bit of the scenic route.
Yeah, but I got to go by the orchard. Then I got to go by the biggest tree in Clay County.
Oh, yeah, that's
still
out there.
Yeah. Mosley's.
Okay.
Mosley's, which is, then I went by Larry Harville's.
Okay.
Because I saw where Larry Harville lived. I'm thinking, that big, beautiful house that he had.
Yeah.
But anyway, those are other things.
Not that it really matters, but I think Ziff may be in Wayne County.
Is it?
I'm not sure. It's right there on the line, but
you know what? I ended up in Wayne County when I was on my journey home.
We can cover Wayne County
We're
too.
We're going to cover Wayne County.
It's not a big deal.
So now I take up and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to head to I'm going to Sailor Springs.
Oh, okay. Headed north.
I thought about going to Ingraham, but then I'm like, I'm going to jaunt off to Sailor Springs, and then my one-track mind just kept going to Louisville and Oskaloosa.
Okay.
So, but I went to Sailor Springs, my favorite place in the whole world, and I went to the Dillman Cemetery.
Okay, a lot of history in Sailor Springs. We covered that in another episode.
But here Sailor Springs, Dillman Cemetery, 1905.
Okay.
Now the Dillmans, we probably want to do some
digging around
on that family. Around that because Dr. Fletcher Dillman, Dr. Fletcher Dillman died in 1905, and he
That's why it started.
And I believe that Dr. And his wife Lizzie Mae Carmichael, I took a picture of his grave.
Okay.
But the Dillman Cemetery has got. There is a lot of my family up there, the Franklins, the Hunleys. All my grandfather's brothers, sisters, they're all buried there. My grandfather is the only one that's, I think, is buried in Clay City.
Okay, well, so this one wasn't established till 1905, but that was like during the heyday of Sailor Springs was in the 1800s. Where were all those people buried?
I'm not sure. I would imagine they probably were all buried like in family plots. Because then once to go by the ones that I drove to, and then like when we were looking through, we did a show on deaths.
Yeah.
And you look at all the deaths and the cemeteries, and I mean, there's tons of just, and they're all family. I would imagine they were, or.
Well, here's another question.
Okay, I think we're thinking the same thing.
We probably are.
I bet we're thinking the same thing.
You can't bury someone in Sailor Springs if it's all springs. Like, you can't dig a hole and then, water. Let's go over 6 feet.
Go a little bit more.
Water.
Yeah.
What did the...
See, because the Dillman Cemetery is up on a hill.
Yeah, it's out of town a little ways, a mile or so.
It's down the road, yeah. Literally, it's the Dillman Cemetery.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, the Dillman Cemetery is literally right down the street from where the Glendale Hotel was at. Yeah. And the Glendale Hotel set up high.
Yeah.
You go down, it kind of goes down a valley, and then the Dillman Cemetery is up high.
So even if your poor little puppy dog died and you needed to bury your dog, what'd you do? Probably couldn't bury it in your backyard.
You couldn't bury it in your backyard. No, because because the springs literally run down Sailor Springs.
Yeah.
That was Jim and I were talking about that. There's a piece of property for sale in the Springs. And Jim went over and mowed it for an older gentleman who lives in Xenia. And there's 2 properties. I wonder if you bought the spring. I mean, if you could tap into that spring anywhere. I'm curious about that.
Like the rights, the water rights?
Well, or just if you owned the land, you would own the rights.
Right.
It's not like oil.
Okay.
It's not like oil, but if you own the land, if you bought the land, you would own the rights. I wonder if, like, you dug a well, if you would tap in, if you would hit the springs.
Oh yeah,
I bet the whole
thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure you would.
Yeah, because if I win the lottery, I'm buying Sailor Springs.
Oh, okay, good.
If I win the lottery, I'm buying Sailor Springs, and I'm putting a campground in.
Oh, okay.
Or if you would like
out there, I'd build a house out there.
I would buy the campground. Somebody's got to take care of it.
Right.
If you want to donate to the Stacey Early Wine by Sailor Springs Foundation, right next to Jim and Stacey Early Wine, a.k.a. Sailor Springs Lovers. I've even got Jim interested in it.
Ooh.
And Jim doesn't really like history, and he was like, yeah, that's kind of cool.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So anyway, let's look at a couple of the things that I took here. Pictures.
Okay, pictures of
this
Dillman.
out here. This is a big stone up there. It's like in honor of the men and women who served our country.
Yeah, veteran recognition.
Veteran recognition is in every single cemetery that I entered.
And it should be.
It absolutely should be. It is all the ones I went to. It literally there is a monument with serving of the veterans. Ty, I think I have another one there. Oh, and this is Dr. Fletcher. That's me in my hat and my. Somebody's got to teach me how to take a picture.
Oh, you got your shadow there?
I got me and my shadow.
And honestly, it looks like a shadow from another stone.
It does. So maybe I'll just quit telling everybody. Yeah. That is not me not knowing how to take a picture. But, what time is it right now? It's about 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Yeah, you didn't have
But that is Dr. Fletcher Dillman, who died in 1905, and his wife, Lizzie Mae Carmichael.
What a beautiful name, Lizzie Mae Carmichael.
I love it.
She sounds like a movie star.
Oh, it really does.
Yeah, like she's a star.
Yeah.
What's your name? Lizzie Mae Carmichael.
And, and the other thing about... as I was taking this picture, and this is on the older part and the highest point of Dillman Cemetery.
Okay.
As I was taking this picture, I turned around and a newer grave caught my eye of a customer of mine that unfortunately died when she was 41 in a car wreck. And it just makes you go, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How could I let her, So, I was like, I thought about her for a minute.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Ty, do I have any more pictures from Dillman? Oh. Nope, not yet. Okay. This one, we're not ready for him yet.
Okay. Where'd you go next?
So, do you remember when you and I were traveling through Sailor Springs to do Sailor Springs, and we were leaving we passed the Dillman Cemetery.
Yes.
And then we went around and we were driving back south, and we weren't for sure where we were at. And I was like, oh my gosh, look up there. There's a cemetery. But it looked
Yes!
like you couldn't get to it.
Yes, it was majorly overgrown.
It was-
and it was tiny.
It was tiny, and it was up on this hill, and you
Yes.
had to go down a lease road.
And you did it.
I did it by myself that day, so I'm like, wait a minute. Beth and I went down to this cemetery, or we
Okay.
didn't
What
go.
was
We
it
just drove
called?
by. Nothing. It's not called anything.
Oh.
It is not called anything. But I've been going through a lot of history books, and I was coming like my mother was a Franklin from the Clay City, Sailor Springs area, and I came. The first Franklins that came, his name was William Franklin. Great.
Okay.
From the way. So I'm like, William Franklin, how neat. I never heard anybody. But my grandparents did not talk about their past too much. My granny
Yeah,
did.
there were certain generations that didn't really
They just didn't
talk
really
about
talk
the
about the
genealogy.
genealogy. Okay? So as I'm driving up, I'm like, I'm going down. So I'm looking, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm like, lease road. I'm like, oh my goodness, whatever. So I'm like, I'm going down this lease road. So I start trucking up
You
this
needed
lease.
Jim's truck.
Oh, I did, because my freshly washed car that Jim had just washed, when you go down the lease road, it's like that dry clay.
Yeah.
I mean, and I had a smoke. I mean, it was just like I looked behind me. You couldn't even see behind me.
Yeah.
Because it was so crazy.
Well, it's pretty dry
but
here right
I
now,
walked
too.
up there and I'm like, okay, I took my camera, beautiful little area, just a family thing, and Clay County on my mind. Ty, show that first picture. Who is that? Catherine
Franklin, age
65. You can see my car in the background. So I go up there, very peaceful. You can see the oil well up there. Okay, so I'm like, ooh, Franklin, 65 years old. Okay, and remember, this graveyard's not named anything. There is nothing around. Show another picture. C.S. Franklin. So I find some more Franklins. And they died in 1826, and I just started taking some pictures. But look how nice this is up here.
That's really pretty. That's not as overgrown as I remember.
It's not.
I think maybe it was early spring when you or I were there. I bet no one had mowed it yet.
Yeah. Do I have more from there? Yeah, it is just there's not many not named. Yeah. Is there any more from this one? Did I take?
I would
No.
be willing to bet it's called Franklin Cemetery.
It
There's a
might
good
be,
chance.
because almost everybody in there was Franklin.
I have a book that I took pictures
And I bet
of cemeteries. I can check the book that I found at the genealogical library and see what the name is.
Because I almost guarantee you, had I been walking around, and okay, so here's the deal. I just decided to take this journey by myself on a whim when somebody canceled at the shop, just going because Jim was going to be gone that night. And so I did this. And I don't know if you've ever had chiggers or turkey mites.
Oh, no.
But that's why I didn't spend a lot of time up there, because I'm like, I brought no nothing. And I've had chiggers before, and they about destroyed me. And I'm thinking, here I am right next to an old lease road in a cornfield.
Yeah.
So I was like, I guarantee you.
If the weeds were high, you probably
I
wouldn't
would
get
have been
chiggers.
okay. I'm going back to that cemetery because I would bet the shop, which I can't bet the shop because the shop's in the Nostalgia Theater. If I could bet this pinky ring, I would bet William Franklin's buried in that cemetery, because there were Franklins all over the place.
Yeah.
And would you look at that up for me? Because I think you're probably right.
I'll try to look that up on a commercial break.
Yeah, it was really, 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 I thought that was just really cool. But nothing, no sign whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness, we have to take a commercial break.
Is it that time already?
Yes,
Okay.
it is. Let's take another commercial break.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank. We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online banking, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be. Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
It's the weekend and your symptoms are worsening. The morning of a big meeting and you have a bigger sore throat. Ever experience that urgency after picking up your sick child and your community health center has already closed? You will be able to connect to a provider at crhpc.org. Even if you have never been to CRHPC, you are welcome to utilize our services. Feel better after scheduling a video visit with CRHPC.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County Farmers Mutual Insurance.
To By the Way with Beth and Stacey, we are talking cemeteries.
Yes, we are talking lots and lots of cemeteries.
Yes.
There are, and so many that we couldn't even.
Right. So
find.
I just Googled real quick while we were on commercial break about the cemetery that you're talking about, and I believe from what I found, it's called Number 4 Cemetery.
Wonder why number 4 is it like? Do you
I
think
don't
there's
know.
that many more?
They never gave it a proper name. They're just calling it Number 4 Cemetery, but it's full of Franklins.
It's full of Franklins, and my mother was a Franklin. I think that's where all of my founding fathers are at, and I can guarantee you we're going to be doing some research on that.
Yeah, let's do it.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
So, I left there. Cars filthy. It's crazy. So, now we are driving around. So, I go to Louisville. Okay. So, I go into Louisville, and I didn't hit the big cemetery on Route 50.
Route 45.
I'm
The one
sorry. Yeah,
right
Route
there
40.
in front of the school.
I did the one right in front of the school, right next to Bill and Jean Bailey, right across
That's
the street.
the old one.
That's the old one. I don't think they bury anybody in there anymore.
I don't think so either.
Nothing looked new. So, Ty, I stopped off at Louisville, and I love this because, once again, it's very military served. Thank you for your service. What's it say? Louisville Cemetery.
Honor our veterans. Thank you for your service. They took care of us. Let's take care of this cemetery.
Oh, isn't that great?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
awesome.
I love that.
It gives me chills. Like,
I just got
they
chills,
took care
too.
of us. Let's take care of them.
Yeah, and I didn't walk around there too much. Like I said, it's very old. I called my daughter-in-law Paige, and her grandfather is Bill Bailey, and he has a residence next door. And I asked if he had any information on it. He didn't have any information on it, but it is pre-Civil War, of course.
Wow,
it's a pre-Civil War and you can tell. But I took one picture in there.
What do we got?
Look at that super cool picture.
Oh wow. I remember walking around that cemetery one time when I was in high school. I went there to North Clay to high school, and for some reason we walked around over there, and there were a lot of really cool stones.
Like I said, it's old. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing new in there, and you can see that there's plenty of space.
Oh, well, maybe not, because like at Elmwood, there are just as many unmarked graves in Elmwood as there are marked.
Really?
Yes.
So all that, okay, real talk, because I did go through Elmwood, and so like when you're like a cemetery like that in Louisville, that there's extra space, but who knows?
There might have been somebody buried there, and that plot is sold and used, but they didn't put a marker because they didn't have the money to.
Oh.
So that doesn't mean that there's space to bury somebody.
Okay, so now that you just brought something to my attention, when I was younger, no much younger than today, my mother, Dallas Hemphill, and Bonnie Thatcher were best friends. Jackie Thatcher Brandibus and I were best friends.
What'd you do?
Every summer, after supper time, we went on bike rides. And we rode our bikes through Elmwood Cemetery all the time. We loved it. We just drive around.
Yeah, it's a great place to ride through.
It's just a great place to ride your bike through. Of course, back in the day, it didn't have as many, that one.
There was a couple roads that weren't there.
There was a couple roads that people weren't using. And the other thing we used to do a lot is have picnics in the cemetery.
Oh.
Okay?
No wonder we're so comfortable in cemeteries, because we used to walk through cemeteries all the time.
Apparently, my parents, I had picnics in there. So what you're telling me,
you were sitting on top of somebody's grave eating a picnic. They were probably like happy that maybe they felt like they were getting remembered in a way if they were able to look down on you. I don't know.
lots up there is a big empty lot right to the east of Samuel White, the founder of Flora's grave. And nobody's buried there to this day.
Yes, there are. I'm sure. You could go ask the office.
I was eating a picnic bologna sandwich. Now I feel bad. I didn't realize that. I don't
think you should feel bad. You weren't being disrespectful.
I just feel like that's
like you weren't on purpose.
Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit here.
Okay.
What is the protocol when walking through a cemetery?
I don't know.
Seriously, because don't you?
I'll tell you what I remember being told as a kid.
Okay, you tell me what you remember being told as a kid.
So
I gotta hear this.
The stone is at the head, so that's the headstone. So you don't walk like behind it, because that would be where the body is. So you're not supposed to walk across where the body lies.
But the headstones all face east.
Most of the time. So
like if a headstone's right here and the writing's here, the body's laying this way.
Yes.
To the east, because we're buried to the east, because when Christ comes, the dead in Christ are going to rise and he's going to come from the east.
Most people.
So you walk. So if you're at Elmwood, you're literally, when you're walking through there, going to walk on the west side of all graves.
I think.
But then that puts you at the foot of somebody else.
Right. And so, like, only knowing this because I've spent a lot of time out there doing the cemetery tour, and we're out there for, like 12 hours straight, 2 nights in a row. We spend hours. I've spent so many hours in Elmwood Cemetery. It's impossible to not walk on someone's grave.
Right.
Like, if you're cutting through a row, because a lot of them are really close together. And then
the
occasionally,
the old ones are like this. They're not like in a straight row.
No. And you have some that are facing north or facing south. And then you have some that have a headstone and a footstone, and you're like trying to, it's just impossible to not at any point step over where you think someone is buried.
Yeah.
And honestly, you don't know exactly where they're buried because there are so many people that are buried that aren't marked.
That's true. That's
true.
So
I just go into the cemetery and basically do my best to not be disrespectful and walk on anyone's head area. I'm
just thinking about that.
The thing is, though, they don't know you're doing it. I mean,
they're
gone. I'm there to do things to honor the history. If I am in a cemetery, I'm there to do something I feel like is honorable to honor the history of our area, of our town, or our veterans, or our citizens. And I in no way mean disrespect. So I don't think that I don't think that it's wrong if you do walk on somebody.
No, I'm just checking to make sure because I'm like kind of all. I was
what
but I remember
back
in the day, jump up and down.
Don't do that.
Hello, hey, can you hear me? But I just remember a long time ago being in a cemetery and somebody's like, "Oh, Stacey!" As a little girl, "Oh, Stacey, you just walked on." I'm like,
"Yeah, yeah." I also think there are people that like to make other people like think about what they're like. They're the ones that always bring it up. Like they're so conscious of it. They're like, "Don't, wait, don't go there." Oh, don't. Just calm down. It's fine.
Calm down. Because I've rode my bicycle in there. I've picnicked in there. Yeah, I picked up lots of old flowers that have grown away, and But anyway,
kind of cleaned it up a little bit. I mean, you think about the people that mow it. I mean, hello.
Oh yeah, I didn't even.
They got to go over that area. So
with the weed eater.
Yeah. It's fine.
So fun.
Let's relax a little bit about that.
I'm not going to freak out too much about that. So then, of course, I went to from Louisville. Hit the old blacktop and I go to Oskaloosa.
Love Oskaloosa. That's where my grandparents are buried.
Sutton's Point.
Yes.
1829. We have covered that. Sutton's Point, of course, is where the Black Hawk Indian War volunteers met and organized at their combat union.
Yep. They went to Northern Illinois to fight the Black Hawk War.
Yep, they sure did. And I think I have another picture of. Did I take another one of Oskaloosa? Yeah. Oh, bylaws. I love this. Did you ever pay attention to the bylaws?
Yes, I have read those. Not every cemetery posts their bylaws.
I only came across a couple that did.
Okay. What did it say? Because I can't read it.
Oh, gosh, I can't remember. I wish I would have made that picture bigger.
I don't know. Ty, can you zoom in on a picture or no?
No. Let me see. You talk a little bit about Oskaloosa real quick, and I'll see if I can, because it's on my phone.
So, yeah, Oskaloosa is in, like, the northern part of Clay County and the western, almost into Marion County, and it is where Sutton's Point is, and there was a lot of Indian history there. There was a big settlement there. There was a big settlement of black people there.
I pulled it up on my phone. Look at me. Oskaloosa Cemetery bylaws. All burials to have concrete vaults.
Okay.
No large backhoes allowed in cemetery, 400-pound limit.
Oh.
No trees, flowers, or other planting allowed. No flower pots or decorations on ground by stone.
What?
No loose rocks or on burial plots. No plastic or wooding, edging, etc. on plot.
Okay.
All markers must be below ground level. All flowers must be removed by April 15th.
Yeah, okay, so let's just go over that for a minute. Because, like,
That's
I know
interesting.
Elmwood has rules like this, too. Like, you have to have everything removed by a certain day. And then why? I don't know why exactly.
Because we decorate them in May.
But then it's like Memorial Day. I'm always confused. Like, I don't want to buy flowers, and then they throw them away a week later or something. Like, what? Why did they do that again? Like, why do they have you remove everything just to keep it clean? Like, there's not like flowers out that have been there for 5 years, or I don't know.
I don't know.
Someone can enlighten me on that, but I don't know But a lot of them have dates like that. They have to have everything off by a certain day.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't even read the bylaws. Mm-hmm. So then I take a little jaunt, and I'm thinking we were talking about Oskaloosa, the African-American settlements there, and there is an African-American cemetery.
Yes.
But it is not in Oskaloosa.
It's just a little ways out.
It's a little ways out, actually kind of in Marion County. And
the Higginbotham.
The Higginbothams are buried there. And so I went to the home of Rachel Bailey Thompson. Somebody told me that it's actually on land that they owned. So I called my son Mac Earlywine. He sent me a little thingy that took me right there. I went and knocked on her door and said, "Hello, I'm Stacey Earlywine." She said, "Yes, I know who you are." She said, "I suppose you're here to look at the cemetery." I said, "I am." And she said, "You see that grove of trees up there?" And I said, "Yes." And so I drove up and I went down this lease road. I was scared because I'm thinking my car's going to catch on fire because I am on another lease road going back to planted fields to look at these trees. And I mean, the weeds were like the weeds were really high. Were like, what? There was no road. I was making my own road.
Oh.
Pretty much. It was like, so, but I'm like, I'm going, I'm here. So then I parked so far because then there's like, I didn't want to upset the farmer's crop. So then I literally, in my flip-flops,
this is the point where you would get chiggers if you were going to get chiggers.
So in my flip-flops and my camera, I walk back to the cemetery. Unfortunately, Rachel had told me that there was somebody at one time that took care of the cemetery, but I couldn't see anything. It just looked like a little baby island in the middle of the field. Everything's grown up and stuff. So I didn't get to go back in there, but I was standing there, and I was just standing there, and it's so crazy because it was like a warm, but like the trees, it was so peaceful up there because the trees, you could hear the trees singing to you in the breeze. It was absolutely, I stayed there for a little bit, then I was worried about snakes because.
Oh yeah, then there's that too.
I would love, I'm going to, before our next commercial break, but I believe, and she said that there was a gentleman that used to take care of that. I'm going to put a plea out there. Somebody needs to take that over and clean that out. That is amazing history in our county, and that's from Oskaloosa. And I don't know who would ever do that. If you love cemeteries, I don't have the equipment to do it. I'd send Jim up there with his mower. But it's not mower thing. But I would love for somebody. She did say somebody used to take care of it, but I would love.
That'd be a great community service project.
That is a great community service project. Is to go up there to that area and clean. It's just a small area to see what those graves look like up there because you can't see
maybe
anything.
Get them a sign.
Oh, it would be wonderful. History.
Yes.
The Higginbothams has great history in Oskaloosa.
Absolutely.
But I do want to end on that, so I am putting a plea out there for.
Good point.
For help on that. And we will come back after this commercial break.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Peggle's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Peggle Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
The insurance specialists have options to tailor to your needs at CSI Insurance Brokers. Experienced insurance brokers at CSI are skilled with all types of insurance plans and policies and represent many companies, including Safeco Insurance. You'll benefit from their detailed expertise, unbeatable premiums, and commitment to customer service. CSI Insurance Brokers and Safeco Insurance Company, providing affordable rates on quality insurance since 1952.
For over 50 years, at your locally owned and operated Roll King Supply in Salem and Olney, we've helped you and your neighbors enjoy an easy country lifestyle. We carry the most thorough sporting goods department around with a huge variety of hunting and fishing gear, camping equipment, and a variety of firearms for any need. Our team is here to help you find whatever you need. Open every day, it's Roll King in Salem and Olney, your locally owned farm and home store.
Hey, welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. Today we are talking about cemeteries, and there are so many in Clay County. I honestly am not sure we're even going to get to talk about all of the ones that we had today.
Oh, no. But
yeah,
you and I are probably going to go knocking on doors to see, because now I'm interested in the family plots.
Yes.
So, after I left Oskaloosa, of course, I'm headed down. Where did I go? I went down, what's that road that Darren Bailey lives on? That takes me,
Xenia
Blacktop. The Xenia Blacktop.
Mm-hmm.
So then I go down, and I'm like, I didn't think about any in Xenia. I didn't really come across. I'm thinking, I'm going down, and I'm going to hit Henson Cemetery, Indian Lydia.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
I'm going down to Brush Creek. Okay, so as you can just leave that picture up there, or you here or whatever.
So this one's actually in Wayne County.
This is in Wayne County. So I'm going down. I call my friend Kay Knapp, and I'm thinking, man, I can't remember exactly if that's on the road that Brush Creek's on. So Kay and I are having this long conversation. And she said, are you by yourself? And I said, yeah, I'm by myself. As you can see, the sun's going down.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going, and don't forget that I have just watched an episode of Black Summer about the zombie apocalypse.
Right. And in this picture, just for those of you that have never been to this cemetery, there's a famous Indian woman buried here. Everyone calls her Indian Lydia. There's a lot of urban legend, folklore about her. Her gravestone is way back in the very bottom.
Yeah.
Or in the middle, see where it's dark under those trees way in the back of the cemetery? The back far corner. That's where she's buried. So you would have had to go back into the dark corners.
Because Kay was like, Stacey, you realize
wooded and
she's
dark.
buried way back there. It's going to be dark. You know what time it is. I'm like, oh, how dark can it be? Well, this is as close as I got because I knew I was going to have to go, and I've been watching the zombie apocalypse, and I'm like, no, this is all you people are getting from Indian Lydia because she has a fascinating story. And hey, flip to the next picture because we're going to cover Indian Lydia. I think it's fascinating.
Yeah.
So when you come in, there's this beautiful.
This tells the whole story.
This tells the whole story.
And someone must
Lydia.
have spent a lot of money on this stone because it's huge. It's probably 6 foot, 8 foot tall.
Oh, it's huge.
And probably 6 foot wide. It's a very large stone. Yeah. It tells the entire story.
And on the other
her.
side of that, go to the next picture, I believe. On the other side is just the Henson Cemetery. It's family.
It's a
the
family.
Henson Cemetery is a family. And when you're going in there, it literally has historical marker, Henson Cemetery, Indian Lydia. So she's very popular.
Yes.
So then I'm thinking, where else am I going to go? It's starting to get dark.
Right.
I head down through. I'm like, I remember leaving Brush Creek one time. I can make my way down there. I couldn't make my way down there. I passed the same little Amish farmer 3 times.
Oh, my gosh.
He's probably thinking, who's this crazy lady? I just wave and go by because I'm like, now I'm in a circle.
Oh,
and I'm thinking, sooner or later, if I'm traveling east, I have to hit Blue Mound.
Well, not necessarily. You kind of got to do a little jog at some point,
I remember doing a little jaunting and all this stuff. Then I'm like, okay, where am I? Because I'm thinking that the little, the Amish guy on his tractor was like literally plowing the field with his horse, and he'd wave and I'd wave, and then I just kept, hey,
there she is again. There she is again.
So then I ended up at Hedgewood Acres. I know Hedgewood, so then I made my way around.
Okay.
And then I'm going down. I'm thinking, I'm getting hungry. I'm getting tired. It's getting dark. So I wanted to go to Reinard. But I'll go there a different time. I'm like thinking it's going to get dark because I wanted to hit. So I hit on Blue Mountain, and I go to St. Stephen's.
Oh, that's a pretty one.
I have never been to St. Stephen's Cemetery on Blue Mountain, but it is.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful. There's a picture. That's the entrance of St. Stephen. It's got one way in, like a little roundabout that's all concrete. And look at this thing. Look at this picture they have. Look at that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I look at that every time I drive by.
The sun is going down. You've got Jesus on the cross. Is that a more perfect picture?
Yeah, I love that. Good job. Look at your photography skills.
Right?
Yeah.
I absolutely thought that was
that's
spectacular.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful little cemetery.
It's a beautiful cemetery.
And there's a really cool guy that's buried there that I want to talk about sometime. He was in the cemetery tour one year.
We definitely need to mention him.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Don't forget to put that down on our notes.
Yes.
We need to do that. So then after I left there, I hit good old Elmwood, which I'm very in tune with Elmwood Cemetery. I have
it is the largest one in Clay County, I believe, the largest cemetery.
Oh, it's huge.
There's over 8,000 people buried there.
This is where my father's my father is buried over with the Franklins over in Clay City. But all the Hemp Hills are buried in Elmwood. And so Elmwood Cemetery is very true to our hearts. We love Elmwood because we do the cemetery tours, which are phenomenal.
Yes. Shadows of Elmwood.
Yes.
This year's dates are September 9th and 10th, I think. I don't have my calendar in front of me, but this is second weekend in September, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you've never been, you should definitely go to that.
Yeah, and I have a couple pictures there because I am a big fan of Samuel White. And at the top, when you go in there, when you go into that one, not the farthest north, but the kind of the next one north, that road, and it kind of splits in wise, and you go up to the top, and these beautiful old cemeteries. Go to the next picture, hon. This is Samuel White's grave. That chain link fence is Samuel White's family.
I would love to clean all those stones up.
And we're going to talk about that, Beth. Let's go and talk about that a little bit after this.
Okay.
But yeah, that's Samuel White's family. Samuel White is the founder
of Flora. And who's the first? You want to tell them who the first person buried in Elmwood? The first person buried in Elmwood Cemetery was Samuel White's sister's baby, William Price. He was about 1 year old, and he died, and there was no place to bury him. And so there was a farmer that donated some of his cornfield, and that became Elmwood Cemetery. Yep.
Yeah. Do we know where the Elmwood came from, the actual Elmwood?
I don't.
We don't know. Yeah, I don't know either.
I'm assuming there was the elm trees, but I don't know. There was also a cornfield, so where were the elm trees?
Right.
I don't know.
It could have been Cornfield Cemetery. Who knows?
I don't know.
Ty, go back to Samuel White's picture, because Beth and I, after doing all of these things, look at these beautiful old stones.
Yes.
They have been here. Samuel died. Do you remember when Samuel White passed away?
I don't.
I can't remember, but you were talking this thing's over 100 years old. And we are kind of wanting to, like especially Samuel White's, clean that up.
Yeah, there's stuff that you can buy to put on there to let it soak and kind of where it's readable again. But I'd also there's some daylilies and things growing there, which are pretty, but they need cleaned up. They need split. Honestly, I think there should be some kind of signage or something that says, hey, this was the founder of Flora. This is the guy that started it all.
Exactly. Without this man, we would,
Yeah.
Seriously, I think that there needs to be a Samuel. When you're talking people from our beginning, that is why we're in existence.
Right.
There needs to be something so people can go, and it needs to be a plaque that says.
Yeah. Even just a simple thing that he has a nice little fence.
Something. There is a fence there.
The chain link fence. Even if it just hung from the fence there, we could make that so pretty.
So I think you and I we're going to maybe kind of take this little project on.
Yeah,
I want Samuel White's because for some reason I just think
so. If you're interested in donating money to that cause, let us know. We promise we will go buy the right chemicals to clean the stones, and we're going to buy some stuff to maybe clean up and put some new flower pots out and buy a sign.
And the last one that I have here is, I don't have any pictures of it because it's the Nixon Cemetery. It is called the Forgotten Cemetery in Clay County. It is located in the Larkinsburg Township.
Okay, so that would be what?
Larkinsburg.
That is Ingraham.
It's over in that area. It's where I didn't trench, but that's where there are several. That's where the majority of our Civil War vets are buried there. So I like to do. But that's all the cemeteries. Okay. That's my 3.5 hour journey on Friday night.
3-hour tour.
That's right. It was fun and terrifying at the same time.
Yeah. Well, it sounds great.
It was fun. You tell me something.
Well, I was just going to talk about a couple of cemeteries that I kind of drive by on a regular basis that not everybody knows where they are. But one is the Golden Cemetery. And I have a picture of this one. So this is.
I love that.
Yeah, this one is I feel like this old-fashioned entryways to cemeteries they're beautiful, but they're also really creepy. Like if you drive by this one at night, it's kind of creepy. So to get there, you go you turn off of Route 45 onto Palm Lane going west, and it comes to a T road, and the Golden Cemetery is right there. And I believe this is also near where the Golden School was. We talked about that in another episode. And Golden Cemetery, is
that in the area that's kind of off of the Xenia Iola Road going through there? Am I in the right place? Am I in the wrong place?
No, I don't
know where I'm at.
Yeah, it's kind of out in, I don't know. It's hard to describe, but yeah, I do drive by that one on a fairly regular basis, and it's cool. So I looked into like who, was it simply only the Golden family buried there? Because that was a common name. That was a common last name here. And majority of the people buried there are Goldens. Okay. But there are a lot of others that are buried there. Mm-hmm. And then another one is the Rusk Cemetery.
I have heard of the Rusk.
And it's another one, these old-fashioned entryways.
I love it so much.
And, somebody went to a lot of work to make that.
That's clean.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that this one is that old. I think I
love the gate.
Yeah, this cemetery is very well taken care of. I'm not sure who's in charge of it. It's got a fence all the way across the front of it. I don't know if it goes all the way around the perimeter or not. I don't remember.
I don't know, but that's fantastic.
And then it has this lovely entryway, and then it's always just really cleaned up. Like, you never see any weeds. There's a little place to pull in and park. But it is out in the country. It's like north of Flora, in between Flora and Louisville, like out, I don't even know what road it's on.
How did you find this one?
So we have some friends that live near there, and we ride four-wheelers and stuff there in the summer, and so this is one of the roads that we would like cut down on our four-wheelers and things. So like my kids will ride four-wheelers there, and they said, they told me when they get to the cemetery, they always speed up. They go by it really fast they're not afraid of cemeteries, because they also have been in Elmwood with me. Even my youngest, who's 11, he rides through in the back of the trucks in Elmwood during the cemetery, holding the flashlights. All of my kids are used to being in cemeteries. That one creeps them out. All of them. They always, I don't know what's going on. It looks peaceful, but they are like, they get up to that, and it's kind of foreboding, like that big Rusk Cemetery sign over road where they're driving, and it's just kind of like glaring down on them, and they just speed up real fast when
they're
they go
like
by
not digging it, huh?
No.
Interesting.
But, yeah, I don't know much other than that.
Yeah, I don't know. I find cemeteries fascinating.
Yes.
Just drive through them, and and there was a couple of them that I went through. I think St. Stephen's, there was some people in St. Stephen's. There were some people at Elmwood, of course. It seems like there's always a car at Elmwood. But yeah, it's I just go through there and just start taking a walk through the cemetery and check it out. And like I said, Beth and I would like to clean up Samuel White's. So if you would like to help us with that, or we would gladly take your help. And the African American cemetery there, the Black Cemetery. I'll let you know where it's at, and maybe we can get somebody up there to get that, because I think
I think it's going to take some equipment to get some of the work done.
It's going to take some equipment to get that done, and I don't even think, I would guarantee you that probably 90% of the people in Clay County don't even know it exists.
Right. Most of the people in Clay County don't even realize there was like prominent black families way back in the 1800s that lived here that were wealthy and really big, in our community. They were great people that helped found the community of Oskaloosa, and then they were over time kind of forgotten about.
Yeah,
and that's sad.
We never want to forget.
Yeah.
If you don't know your past, you can't know where you're going.
Nope.
That's what I always say. Past is, and you don't change your history.
Nope.
You can't change it, and don't. That's just how it works.
That's how it works.
So my rules for life today, I've been pondering, because I don't know.
You don't know if you like this one?
I don't know.
We always end the show with a rule to live by. So bring it on. What are we doing?
Choice is greater than effort.
Choice is greater than effort. I don't know about that one.
I don't know. How can choice be greater than effort?
I don't like that one, because I feel like you can work hard and make things happen. Even if you made a bad choice, you can work hard.
That's why I picked it. I'm like, it's the only. Usually when I pick out a rule, it's like, oh man, that's super cool, or that's awesome. But choice is greater than effort. So if you choose to do something, but you don't have any effort in it, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm going to vote no to that one. I don't like it.
I think effort is greater than choice. right? I don't even think
I don't know that they're even comparable. They're kind of two different things.
Yeah.
You can make good choices, but you still have to put in the work.
Yeah.
And you can make bad choices, and you still have to put in the work to turn it around. I don't know about that one.
Yep.
Not sure who wrote that one.
We don't like this one.
Nope. Boo.
Well, that's our show for today.
We're done. Thanks for joining us. It's always fun, and I hope you will join us next time. Bye-bye.
God bless you. Bye-bye.